there's something deeply wrong with the milk in your refrigerator. The reason most people never notice is because they've been told to blame themselves, not the product. For thousands of years, milk was one of nature's most complete foods. It built strong bones, sustained villages through harsh winters, and supported human health for generations without any supplements or alternatives. Yet today, that same word, milk, describes a sterile liquid that causes bloating, congestion, and digestive distress for millions. Doctors tell them they're lactose intolerant. Nutritionists recommend cutting dairy entirely, and grocery stores are filled with substitutes pretending to replace what milk once provided. Something fundamental has changed, and it isn't the human body. Your grandfather probably drank milk every day of his life. Not almond milk, not oat milk, but milk straight from a cow, often unheated and unfiltered. He didn't complain of allergies or need digestive enzymes. He didn't consider dairy dangerous. So the question isn't why people suddenly became intolerant. The real question is, why did milk itself become intolerable? To understand what happened, we need to remember what milk was historically. It wasn't just a beverage, it was a survival food. In medieval Europe, milk, butter, and cheese were dietary anchors. In the late 1300s, a farming family could survive an entire winter on the milk of just 2 healthy cows. That milk provided complete protein, energy-dense fats, and essential vitamins like a D and K2. It supported growth in children and preserved bone density in adults. This wasn't luck. It was nutrition delivered in a form the body could actually use. Medieval milk came warm from the cow and was consumed fresh or processed immediately. The cream naturally rose to the top. This milk was rich, variable, and alive. It contained beneficial bacteria, active enzymes, and intact fat structures. It wasn't standardized or homogenized. It wasn't fortified because nothing had been destroyed in the first place. It existed in harmony with human digestion because it hadn't been chemically altered. Now, compare that to the milk you buy today. It has been heat-treated, pressurized, separated, recombined, fortified, and stored for weeks. It's uniform, shelf-stable, and biologically inactive. It looks like milk, but your body doesn't treat it like food. That's why so many people react to it, and that's why all those milk alternatives exist. Not because milk is inherently harmful, but because modern milk is no longer milk in the biological sense. Today, roughly 70% of the global population reports some level of lactose intolerance. Milk allergy is one of the most common childhood food allergies. Entire industries have been built around eliminating dairy to reduce inflammation, acne, and digestive discomfort. The narrative is simple and convenient. Humans can't tolerate milk. But this narrative collapses under historical scrutiny. Humans consumed dairy for thousands of years without these problems. Skeletal evidence from medieval populations shows strong bones, low rates of osteoporosis, and robust dental health. These people weren't calcium deficient. They weren't avoiding dairy. They were thriving on it. The real problem isn't lactose intolerance. The real problem is that modern milk has been processed in a way that removes the very components that made it digestible. Pasteurization destroys enzymes. Homogenization damages fat structures. Standardization removes natural variation. What remains is a product optimized for profit and shelf life, not for human health. Let's start with pasteurization. It was introduced in the late 19th century as an emergency measure. In rapidly industrializing cities, cows were kept in filthy conditions, and milk was transported long distances without refrigeration. Diseases like tuberculosis spread through contaminated milk. Heating it saved lives. That part of the story is true. What followed is the problem. Instead of cleaning up dairy practices and improving animal health, the industry chose to rely on heat treatment as a permanent fix. Pasteurization became a mask that allowed poor quality milk to be sold safely. It heats milk to temperatures that kill bacteria, but it doesn't discriminate. Beneficial bacteria die right alongside the harmful ones. Key enzymes like lactase, which helps us digest lactose, are destroyed. Lipase, which helps break down fats, is damaged. The milk becomes biologically incomplete. When people drink this enzyme-deficient liquid, their digestive systems are forced to do all the work alone. Many just can't. The result is bloating, gas, and cramping. Doctors call this intolerance. In reality, it's a normal response to a deficient food. Homogenization makes things even worse. This process forces milk through fine screens under high pressure to break up fat globules so the cream does unseparate. It creates that smooth, uniform texture we've come to expect. But it also fractures the natural protective membranes around the fat. In raw milk, these large fat globules are digested slowly. In homogenized milk, the tiny, exposed fat particles can pass through the gut lining more easily, potentially triggering inflammatory and immune responses. The rise of milk sensitivities closely follows the widespread adoption of homogenization in the early 20th century. Then there's standardization. Modern milk is separated into cream and skim, then recombined to precise percentages. Whole milk is always 3.25% fat. 2% is always 2%. This consistency makes large-scale distribution easier, but it eliminates the natural, healthy variation. Medieval milk changed with the seasons. In spring, when cows grazed on fresh grass, milk was richer in omega-3 south and beta-carotene, giving it a golden hue. Modern industrial dairies rely on Holstein cows, bred for extreme production.